So if you're like me who has been very unlucky and still doesn't have a Shako, hopefully this video will give you some sort of an inspiration that it's still doable. The mid tiers, that is, are still doable even without the Shako. We are instead using the Godslayer. One of the small advantage of the Godslayer over the Shako is that it has a crowd control duration increase at a maximum roll. It has an 18%. My Frost Nova, for example, normally Frost Nova only lasts for 3 seconds, but I added some more. You can find it on the offhand, as well as some amulets can roll increase crowd control duration. My Frost Nova is going around 4.5 seconds, I believe. What we did, we played smart. I instead used a aspect of the shatter aspect, and I have it on the gloves. What the aspect does is it has it adds a up to 40% multiplicative damage towards the shatter key passive. So what I'm trying to do, well, the plan is at least try to hurt as much trash mobs and combine them with the elites, and try to get some explosions going on to kill or at least decrease the HP of the elites, like this example right here. I'm watching the HP bar of the elites. I'm trying to watch out once they go unstoppable. You see, when they turn unstoppable, you'll see it on their HP bar. It turns blue. That means they're already unstoppable. The control aspect will no longer function. So I move on. I run away. Now it's gonna be clear, and it's gonna be another time to engage. So I do my combo again, my Rainmnet plus the Frost Nova combo, and try to do as much damage as I can. Now unstoppable, so I run back again, try to get me some trash mobs, and just do the same cycle over and over again. Eventually the elites will die. If you compare our damage with the Shako versus non-Shako, the guys with the Shako and a regular amulet will probably have around on their character screen 80 to 90,000 ball of lightning damage, whereas in town my ball of lightning damage is only around 27-29,000. So that's more than half of the single target damage. So we have to play smart about it. I don't really recommend any doing more than tier 10 runs with the Godslayer. Eventually, you won't be able to clear the bosses at the end, and you'll see it towards the end of this video that it took me a while to kill the bosses, even with some swaps also. But on the regular dungeon, the combination works really well. See that pack, we cleared it without having to drag them to another group of trash mobs. And also you can see the skulls. Those are one of the vampiric powers that I'm experimenting with. I'm not using an elementalist aspect, the one which adds critical strike damage. What I did is I using the vampiric with the fear. Every time they hit you, you get a 14% chance that you'll be casting fear, and feared monsters will be critically struck right there. 100% chance to get critically struck. So there's no cooldown, I believe. So being on an immortal build, we could take some damage. Well, at least on these tiers, and even lower. And our advantage being on an Immortal build is that we can get ourselves a good position, uh, trying to strategize our position to engage or disengage depending on the situation. Now here's another group of juicy mobs, and I grab them with the Rainmnet, do my Frost Nova. You can watch the HP bar and boom, they explode with the Shatter passive, and they're gonna be turning into unstoppable. So it's time to go get myself more trash mobs here. Hopefully the 3 elites at the back will follow. Then cast my Raiment and Frost Nova, and the same cycle over and over again. Now here's the problem part. The problem part will be the Bloodlords. One of the mistakes I made on this video is that I forgot to bring my second weapon. I'm still using the control weapon on this particular run. I did bring my other gloves, so I removed the Shatter gloves. I put in the Stormwell gloves instead, but I forgot the weapon, so I should have brought like the Elementalist weapon instead. So obviously the kill speed on the bosses will be really slow. So it took me more than 2 minutes, I believe, to kill these 2 elites. By the way, this is not the first tier 10 clear that I have made. I've made it for a good 2 or 3 times already, but most of them were with what do you call this one? Blast Wave Shrine or shrines in general. But I wanted to see and show you guys how bad the single target damage will be, and so you guys can compare it to yourself if you already have like if you're already doing some mid high tiers already. I know that there are already clears of 19 and up, and those are awesome, but hopefully soon. Well, one thing at a time. So first we need to get ourselves a Shako, then do the other builds. If you've seen that video, it's a completely ridiculous good player, good skill, and the equipment as well is really smart, and he played it really smart as well. It was an injured build, but the caveat is that he wasn't using a Selig. He was mainly using barriers. It's really mind-boggling how he managed to do it. The amount of concentration and skill required to pull that run was ridiculous. Anyway, I'll be showing the build and the rest of the gear after the run. Hopefully we'll kill these guys this year. And the plans right now, I don't have any plans of doing anything higher than tier 10 with the current equipment that I have. I really need to get myself a Shako, and before I jump into anything higher than tier 10. As you can see, this is really slow, but for lower tiers like 8 or 7 for example, I could fall asleep doing the same thing over and over. That's the advantage of being on the Selig Immortal setup that we have right now. So I don't use any dust, tier dusts. So here's my wand with the control and the unstoppable boots, and ever-living Godslayer, as I mentioned many times, Selig, of course, Talrasha, and recharging, which is like mandatory for the build. Same aspects, the Firebolt and the Chain Lightning. So I changed my beers. I'm gonna put it back to the Shatter after the run, and switch back to my other equipment. So just show you some of the skills, practically the basic Ball of Lightning skills. The Frigid Breeze was a mistake, by the way. I was on the Blizzard skill and I forgot to swap it out. I could put it to Elemental Dominance to get me like an extra 9% multiplicative damage instead. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I got me my target. I was hoping to get a tier 10, and I got a tier 10 for my day off on the weekend. Hopefully, I get myself a Shako, doing a few runs here and there during the week, and get me another push, maybe 12, 13 maybe, on the next week. Hope you guys had a good time, happy weekend, and see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.